On Saturday night, Tennessee outgained Kentucky 445,371, forced 4 Wildcats turnovers, held the ball for nearly two-thirds of the game, 38:25 of game clock, to be exact, and lost 2,926 to the only SEC East team the Volunteers had beaten in each of Butch Jones' first 4 years as head coach. Kentucky QB Steven Johnson ran in the go-ahead touchdown from 11 yards out with 33 seconds left, and Jarrett Guarantano's last-gasp Hail Mary was hauled in 3 yards short of the goal line. The most Tennessee finish imaginable. A completed Hail Mary that does not reach the end zone. Pick. Twitter.com. NKM Ryokoi Drive. Saturday. At Yahoo! Saturday, October 29, 2017. Now Tennessee is 35 overall and 0-5 in the SEC. And there seems to be no way back for head coach Butch Jones, who entered the season with one of the conference's warmest seats and saw its temperature rise with each painful loss to a conference foe. But which was the worst? Let's rank them, from the most understandable results to the truly maddening defeats that have left Butch Jones on thin ice in Knoxville. 5. Alabama 45, Tennessee 7, October 21. Yes, the Tide do this to everyone. But that doesn't lessen the importance of the third Saturday in October for Volunteers fans. Linebacker Rashawn Golden's double birds to the assembled fans at Bryant-Denny Stadium after Tennessee scored its lone touchdown on a pick-six were both the highlight and lowlight of an afternoon when Alabama racked up nearly 6 times as many yards of offense as the Vols. 4. Georgia 41, Tennessee 0, Sept. 30. This one hurt more at the time, before it became crystal clear that the Bulldogs were a national title contender. But the mass exodus well before the final whistle told you all you needed to know about how few people were still in Jonas camp after a complete no-show on both sides of the ball. 3. South Carolina 15, Tennessee 9, October 14. An offensive touchdown drought that started in mid-September against UMass officially became a thing when the Gamecocks' defense produced a goal line stand in the final 10 seconds, spoiling Guarantano's first start in place of Week 1 QB Quentin Dormady. Will Muschamp's team became bowl eligible before the end of October, but this game was an unsightly slog that Tennessee had under control until late in the third quarter, when South Carolina put together a 12-play, 95-yard drive for the game-tying score. 2. Florida 26, Tennessee 20, Sept. 16. Philippe Franck's Hail Mary seemed to have an insurmountable clubhouse lead as the season's biggest heartbreaker, from the improbable arc of the deep ball that fell into Tyree Cleveland's cradled arms behind Tennessee's short-handed secondary to the self-flagellation defensive coordinator Bob Shoop subjected himself to in front of the media the next week. The Volunteers had worked hard to erase a 10-point deficit in the final 5 minutes and forced the game to come down to a desperation heave. As for the outcome of that heave, at least deflating losses have become commonplace in this rivalry. 1. Kentucky 29, Tennessee 26, October 28. Don't focus on the Hail Mary, as tempting as it is to turn that oh-so-close Jeff George reception into a metaphor for the season. Hail Marys are thrown short of the goal line all the time. Tennessee losses to Kentucky, on the other hand, only come about once a decade. The Volunteers had Mark Stoops and co. dead to rights after scoring 13 unanswered points and forcing the Wildcats' first 4 offensive drives of the second half to end in a pair of fumbles and a pair of punts. Then, from out of nowhere, Johnson led a 10-play, 72-yard drive for the game-winning touchdown. Except if you've watched Tennessee this year, it wasn't from out of nowhere at all.